If you're looking to advertise, sponsor, or be a guest on Convo with CINO to talk about your business or event, or you have a powerful story or testimony, email info@convowithcino.com or visit www.convowithcino.com.
Now tune in with your favorite host. It's Convo with Mr. CINO Show. Bring you the latest on the gossip and more. Creating innovative new opportunity. Reliable source to provide info like a news feed. Interviews up close and personal. With high topics, entertainment, and how you want it for more. Creative cultures on a whole different note. Motivating, building up our future with hope. Right here on your number one show. You hear it first, like never before. The conversation inspirational. Convo with CINO. You now tune in with your favorite host. Right here on your number one show. Convo with CINO. You hear it first, here like never before. The conversation inspirational. Convo with CINO. You now tune in with your favorite host. Right here on your number one show. Convo with CINO.
All right, welcome to another fire episode of Convo with CINO. And as you can see, we're here at another beautiful location. And before we get started, y'all know what I need you to do. Guess what I need you to do? I need you to hit that like and subscribe button and keep tuning in to Convo with CINO. So look, we're gonna get right into it today with my guest today. But again, I gotta give a shout out to Set Sculpting Studios, right? Because we are here. And it's just a beautiful location. So check them out right here in Maryville, Indiana at 1456 East 85th Avenue. Again, that's Set Sculpting Studios. So let me introduce my guest for today. And so as you can see, I have a book here. And so we're going to get into this book. But my guest here today is Dr. Sharnita L. Rice. She's a registered nurse, a family nurse practitioner, and holds a doctorate of nursing practice. Beyond her impressive medical career, Dr. Rice is a thriver who has transformed her own experiences with trauma into a mission to help others overcome adversity. She is also the author of the empowering book, Shattered Peach, right? Shattered Peach. And so, and this is a 12-step guide to transition from victim to victorious, right? And so we're going to get into that today. And where she shares her journey from surviving to thriving and offers steps for others to do the same. Dr. Rice, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me, Mr. Williams.
So you're going to say my whole name on Convo with CINO. You're going to let them know Mr. Williams. Okay, all right. Well, I am Corey Williams, but for the record, we know we go back a little bit. We good friends. So thanks for reaching out and being a guest on the show.
Definitely. Thank you for supporting me and allowing me to do this. And we have to support each other, right?
That's right.
Grow, so.
That's right. So we're here today, and we're gonna get into a little bit more about you. So tell the people about you and who Dr. Rice is, and then we're gonna get to how you got to be Dr. Rice, because I know you just from Sharnita, but I haven't seen you in a while, and I'm proud of you. And so tell them, for those who don't know, tell them who you are.
Well, as Corey said, I am Dr. Sharnita Rice. I really don't do titles, so Sharnita will suffice. Okay, and I am a longtime student, wife, and aunt.
Okay.
And now I've added author to my title. I'm a nurse by trade, been a nurse for 17 years, a family nurse practitioner for the past 5 years. I love helping people. I also have another business called Reassured Workforce Solutions, where we bridge the gap between cybersecurity and healthcare. We believe in, and our passion is patient outcomes, patient safety, and patient satisfaction. So.
That was a lot. I thought I said a lot, but you just said a lot more, right? So let's talk about the Dr. thing, and you know, how'd you get into that? And you know, as far as medical wise, what's your background?
Well, I originally, honestly, when I finished high school, I really didn't know what it was I wanted to do. You know, having that conversation about going to college, and you know, really was not talked about in my household. So out of my household, I'm the first person to actually go to college, and I had to learn how to study and do all of that on my own. I didn't have that guidance. But once I got the discipline to sit down and complete something, I completed my registered nursing degree from Purdue University, Calumet, blood, sweat, and tears. You know, you have to do what you have to do to get done. And it was a hard road, but I did it.
Convo with CINO would like to thank Denise Harris. Denise Harris's journey from pain to healing is captured in her powerful book, Reflections of My Soul, a story of overcoming abuse and finding true love, agape love. Her words speak for those who can't. Available now on Amazon and at morethan1972.com. For more info, contact morethan1972@gmail.com or call 7653-726-831. Thank you from Convo with CINO for joining us. Grab your copy and continue the journey of healing and empowerment.
And then I kept going, and I didn't stop. I would stop for a little while. You know, I did travel nursing, worked in the ICU, ER, loved travel nursing. Then when
so that's pretty popular now, the travel nurse thing.
Yeah, it got more popular with COVID because everybody wanted the COVID money. And now that the rates are not what they are, you know, they're still doing it, but they expect those high rates.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's great. So what made you keep going? Like, you know, as far as school wise?
It was a personal satisfaction. I wanted more. I wanted to be able to offer my patients more of me. I wanted more knowledge to be able to take care of my patients, you know. And not only that, having a higher degree, being a family nurse practitioner can also bring with that entrepreneurship. I'm able to, if I wanted to go and start my own business in Indiana, I can, although I would need, you know, to have a physician over me to oversee things, but I would be able to start my own business. I can prescribe and things like that.
Oh, okay, big time. Man, well, you know, I'm super proud of you. You know, I remember when you started school, and I know even before that, you've always, you know, just me knowing you, I know you've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. You know.
Yes, I've started a lot of different business. I did prepaid legal with you. I've done
Mary
Kay.
Out. Prepaid legal, Legal Shield. Yep.
Yeah, I've done Mary Kay. I've done a number of those different types of businesses, and I've enjoyed it. So I knew entrepreneurship was something that I always wanted to do. I want to be able to help employ the next generation, you know, be a leader that actually leads, not just be a boss, because to me it's a difference, you know. Being a leader is helping your team grow with you so that they can advance and do what you do. You can't be afraid to share the glory. No gatekeeping here.
Come on,
let's
now.
all grow together.
Come on now.
It's enough out here for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the word boss and entrepreneurship, and here on Convo with CINO, we like to recognize, you know, the bosses of the boss, the bosses of the bosses, you know, here on Convo with CINO. And what better person or actually brand to do that is than with my man Ricky Rose. And so I always like to present my guests with a token here from the Convo with CINO show. And this is for you, my good friend, Dr. Sharnita Rice.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So
I'll leave that right here.
Yeah. So you know, we just want to say congratulations on all your success and all you're doing. So so now that we know a little bit about your background, let's get into this book, Shattered Peach. First of all, what's up the title? How did you come with that? And I mean, it looks great. I mean, the marketing great. How did you come up with the title?
So the title, most people don't know my nickname. My dad gave me the nickname of Peaches when I was a kid.
Okay.
Do not start.
I'm not saying
I saw the
nothing.
smirk on his face. But my dad gave me the nickname of Peaches when I was a kid. And my life was shattered before the age of 7 because I was molested by my brother's uncle. And he was our babysitter. And I always wanted to be with my brother, so I always went over. Wherever my brother went, I was there. We was thicker than thieves.
Okay.
And that's where the molestation was taking place. I don't recall when it started, but I know it stopped when I was at 7 years old. And that's where that name come from.
Okay, Shattered Peach and molestation. And I'm sure by you, you know, so this book is about your personal story, or is it about the journey, or just molestation and physical abuse, period?
So it gives my story, but it also gives words of wisdom. It provides ways to help someone heal. Because the issue is, you hear, me too, it happened to me. That's admitting, and that's absolutely awesome. I'm happy for the Me Too movement because it allowed people who were afraid to come forward to come forward. But what's next? I'm a survivor. Yes, but in my eyes, you're not just a survivor. A survivor to me means you lived after it happened. You're still here. You didn't get killed, whether it was domestic violence, bullying, sexual assault. You didn't get killed. You survived. So what's next? How do you thrive? How do you live past that? How do you carry on in everyday life without it being a forethought in your brain? Can you talk about it without tearing up? The thoughts, I mean, I don't have them as often as I used to, but it does not disrupt my spirit either like it used to. And that's where I want other people to be in the journey. So we have to move past just surviving, and I want you to thrive. I want you to be victorious through this trauma.
Transform your financial future with creating innovative new opportunities and solutions. CINOs. Specializing in credit repair, we're your ally in enhancing your credit profile and unlocking new possibilities. At CINOs, we understand the intricacies of credit scores and offer expert guidance to rebuild and improve yours. Our dedicated team provides personalized strategies, helping you navigate and overcome credit challenges. Beyond credit repair, we offer business funding, trade line services, LLC setup, and more. But it all starts with a solid credit foundation. Take the first step towards financial empowerment with CINOs. Contact us today and start your journey to a better credit score.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, I got a lot of questions. So I know, like, doing your, I'm sure you did research, and you know, you being a doctor and maybe analytical. I mean, are there like certain numbers or percentages of people that have suffered this type of abuse, like the stats on it? I mean, what are maybe some of the stats, or if you can kind of share?
So 1 in 4 individuals are sexually assaulted. Every 68 seconds, someone in the United States is sexually assaulted.
Oh my goodness.
And then when it comes to domestic violence, and mind you, these are only the things that's reported. 41% of women and 26% of men go through domestic violence. Everyone else don't report it because they're ashamed. They feel like it's their fault. No one is going to believe them. They just don't know who to turn to. So you have all of those. So I am hoping that this book allows people to get away from those myths, know that they are not alone in the trauma that they've experienced. It's a lot of people that's out here. And it's a lot of people, believe it or not, who it happened to them as a child and they're like 65 and they say it's still disrupting their life.
Wow.
So I believe in that rear view mirror is very small. We have to start looking forward and moving forward. So let's go through some things to thrive past what we've been through.
Wow. Whoa, that was heavy. That was heavy. How important is mental, I mean, because I know the book is getting you to thrive, and I know this is not just a book to read. It actually has action steps, workbook, so it's a 12-step transition. What kind of part does this play as far as even in therapy? Like because I could probably see like a therapist even recommending this book to people that have suffered that type of abuse or trauma or whatever, going through that.
Right. So dealing with the mental health aspect is very important, because the way people deal with trauma, especially sexual assault, promiscuity.
Mm-hmm. That was my next question. I was going to ask you
what
route the person can take after that.
Sex,
yeah.
Alcohol, drugs, because they want to numb the pain.
Yeah.
Let's stop numbing the pain. Let's deal with the issues head on, because once you're not numb anymore, guess what? You still have this trauma. You still have to deal with it. You still have to live with it.
Yeah.
So you may as well do something about it. The book provides, at the end of every chapter, I give you songs to listen to. I give you questions.
Name me a song. What's the song in there? Give me one song that you got in there. Give me one.
Well, one of the songs is definitely "I'm a Survivor" by Destiny's Child.
Come on now.
That's one of the songs that helped me. The first song that helped me was "Jesus Loves Me," because I didn't feel loved. I absolutely did not feel love. I can recall me being in college when I first went to IU Bloomington on a groups program the summer of 1992, 17 years old. And I sat in the auditorium, and that gentleman, he said, we was in orientation, and he said, 1 in 4 of you have been sexually assaulted. And I felt my heart drop, because it was just buried. I was not dealing with it. It was just buried.
Wow.
And when he said that, I wanted to get up and run. I wanted to put my gym shoes on and run and not come back. But people would know. And I just felt like people looking at me just knew that this had happened to me, that they looked at me like I was dirty.
Yeah.
You know. But I had to start loving myself.
Yeah.
In order to, to heal.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine like having to kind of hide that and bury that deep, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then when somebody, like you hear something that somebody unlocks that pain, I can see how maybe a person can, be anxiety can flare up, and shame and hurt. So man, that's amazing. So what made you kind of not get into promiscuity, drugs, and you know what I'm saying? What made you kind of stay focused and not go the route of the wrong way?
I was scared of my daddy.
Shout out to the real fathers out there, man.
I am telling you, my brothers, they got in trouble so much. I was like, I will absolutely not. But even as an adult, did I ever try? I felt guilty, and I'm telling you, it'll be on my spirit. So I was like, I can't. This not for me. Yeah. And I had one guy. He told me. He said, I used to hang around some girls when we was young, and he looked at me and he called me. He said, Nita, you're not like them, but you always want to be careful who you hang around, because who you hang around is what represents you.
Yeah.
So people look at you like you are the same person, or you do the same thing that this person does. So you need to be careful with who you hang around. And he is gone to this day, but I still remember that he pulled me to the side as a young girl, teenager, and he told me that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we could really go so deep into this. I know it's, and now even with the things, I mean, even with social media now, I can even imagine kind of like when we were before social media, like when we were in school, how is it probably now with people and children or kids going through this? How do you, maybe what's the difference between then and now? Like if you were a teenager now dealing with it with social media, what do you think the impact of that is?
Convo with CINO would like to thank Midwest Custom Print specializes in helping small businesses and corporations' digital and print branding come to life. www.midwestcustomprint.com. You think it, we create it.
I think that I probably would not be as afraid to use my voice. You know, but honestly, people are still afraid. So I don't think it's a lot of difference. The difference is you do have a lot of people admitting that it happened to them. They're not being as shameful, but they're still trying to figure out which route to take to heal. Who can I admit this to? What is it? How do I tell my story? What do I say? You know, that's important for them to have an outlet. Most people don't want to hear it. I love going to church, but the words sexual assault or rape or all of that to be discussed in the church, where the church is your place for healing. It's the hospital. We need to know specifically. Let's talk about this topic in church. Give me some scriptures.
But let's be honest.
Not just on, you know, okay, this is how you heal overall. Let's be specific.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, even the reports of people being molested in religious facilities. I mean, as far as, you know, I don't want to bash no religion, but you know, the priests and things, they have been reported as, you know, and people, I mean, like, I don't even know the numbers of people that have been claims that have come forth against the Catholic Church.
Right. But look at them. Look at how old they are when they finally come forward. Yeah. And then unless it's someone else coming forward first, you usually have that one, and then you see a bunch of people coming out the woodworks like, well, he did it to me and he did it to me. We should not still be in that category. It should not be taboo to discuss this topic.
Yeah.
And we need somewhere to go. And the reason I chose 12 steps is because I've always felt like this. I've had these written down in my notebook for years.
So this is your own personal step. These are steps that you personally applied to your life. Yes, and you sharing it with the world.
I am.
Man, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
That's
I chose
dope.
12 steps because I feel like you have 12 steps to recovery, 12 steps to, you have NAAA. How many steps do they use to recovery? They have a 12-step program, right?
Yeah.
So why can't we have 12 steps?
Yeah.
We didn't ask to be touched. We didn't ask to be violated. They put drugs in their system on their own because they're dealing with whatever they're dealing with.
This is what always kind of fascinates me when it comes to people that come forward. First of all, why wait so long to come out with it? This is my question to you, and just based on your opinion. And then why wait so long, and why, and even if you do share, do people believe you? Like, you know, because
well, you just answered one of your own questions.
Okay.
So that is part of the problem. So say, for instance, I go out and I have on we're going to be cute when we go out. I'm going to have on my nice 6-inch stilettos. I'm going to have on my short skirt, my crop top, that look nice. And somebody might look at that like, oh, she want me to touch her. That's how, some people do.
Okay.
And if you say no and they do it anyway, or you might be with a guy who you're dating, but you're not ready to go there with him, and he take advantage of you. That individual may feel guilty. They may feel like it's their fault. They had one too many drinks. The way they were dressed. So they may feel guilty. They may feel like no one believes them. They may feel like, what do I do next? Do I call the police? They just may feel alone at that time. And so we need people to understand, if you have any inkling that you have been sexually assaulted, then you need to admit it. When a person says no, then that means no.
Yeah. So even when a person, when a person shares the information, like I guess I'm just trying to figure out, how do people get away with this? Like, how they are not prosecuted, how they not whooped, just to be honest, because you touch look, I got a daughter, so I don't care. Look, that's a whole other. Y'all to see CINO come out for real, mess with Christina, right? So what are the ramifications of this type of stuff?
Well, it's difficult to prosecute. First, the person has to come forward.
You got to get DNA,
and that takes long. Like DNA processing, I guess the powers that be, the offices, they are backed up sometimes.
Okay.
So, and then the person has to recall who did it. If they were able to see them, you have to point them out in a lineup. DNA have to match. And some people are so distraught that they could get it wrong.
Yeah. Man.
So then you have this person walking around here and they just constantly do it to other people. Some people are just afraid to say anything.
Yeah. And, of course, speaking of social media, I mean, I'm sure you see what's going on right now with Diddy, and all the allegations that he has on him. I mean, it seems like, I guess in America, you're innocent till proven guilty, but right now it seems like he's guilty until proven innocence. I think he's trying to really prove his innocence right now. But what's your take on that? Like the Cassie thing, him getting caught beating her by the elevator and all of that stuff. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I really don't get into the Hollywood stuff. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like me. What I do not like is, the biggest problem for me with Hollywood people is, all this stuff is going on. A lot of you know what Diddy been doing. You was in the house. You didn't stop him, and you didn't call or report it. But the other thing is, they put people on a pedestal so high that they let them get away with all of this stuff for so many years. You've heard the allegations. Mm-hmm. You heard these allegations.
Justin Bieber when he was a kid, Usher when he was a kid. You let a grown man. New. Yeah.
So why you wait all these years to do something? You should have done something back then. That's just like with R. Kelly. You should have did something way back when he was messing with Aaliyah.
Transform your financial future with creating innovative new opportunities and solutions. CINOs. Specializing in credit repair, we're your ally in enhancing your credit profile and unlocking new possibilities. At CINOs, we understand the intricacies of credit scores and offer expert guidance to rebuild and improve yours. Our dedicated team provides personalized strategies, helping you navigate and overcome credit challenges. Beyond credit repair, we offer business funding, trade line services, LLC setup, and more. But it all starts with a solid credit foundation. Take the first step towards financial empowerment with CINOs. Contact us today and start your journey to a better credit score.
So do you think people...
Why wait?
So do you think parents kind of send their kids to these kind of child predator type of people for fame and money? I mean,
I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I mean, I can assume sometimes they may think that person is going to do right, but I'm about to tell you this. I have nieces and nephews, and it ain't no way in West L that I'm going to send my niece or my nephew to anyone, and I'm not staying there with them, and them leaving with me.
Yeah.
You want to do a record? It's going to take 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be right there with my baby, because it's going to be you and I.
Yeah. Man, okay.
And I'm not going to plead insanity. I did it because he touched my baby.
Oh yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you when you're right. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you want to be doing. I'm very nice. listen to you.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. So let's shift gears. Let's get back into the book. So the process. How long did it take you to write the book, and what's the process of book writing? So now I want to talk to my entrepreneurs, people who are looking to get into being an author, being a publisher. What's that process like?
Well, honestly, they say don't do anything without a coach. Okay, so I've had the idea to write the book, but the book was actually just going to be my story, right?
Okay.
It was just going to tell what happened and how I made it through, how I live with it. But then I saw MD Motivational Publishing. She's on social media platforms. Her name is Jasmine Zapata.
Okay.
And she helps authors write books in a weekend.
In a weekend.
In a weekend.
Wow. So did you have? Is this like a she has like a program, mentorship, or package?
She does.
So how much does something like that cost?
It was $3,000.
Okay.
And that's
so I just want to make a point that you gotta pay.
You have to pay
for the information, because a lot of people think they just want something for free.
No,
go ahead.
But look, so we had a $3,000 to $3,500 package. Okay. I wrote that she has the outline of how you should write your book. Okay. You are basically self-publishing. They don't take any of the royalties. They have it for you to self-publish. Then this nice cover that you see, they created that. I gave them my vision of what I wanted and how I wanted the cover to look. They sent me like 3 different options. The first 3 I didn't like. I actually found a picture that looked like what I wanted on a peach, and they put that on. Okay. And they were absolutely wonderful. Yes, it's a program, because not only when you have a book, you have a business. And they tell you that. You have a book, you have a business. So in the program, they teach you different things to do to get your book out there. Because here you go, you can have retreats, you can have speaking engagements, you can have workshops from your book. You can do
verticals
all of
from you being a publisher and an author. Now you can, like you said, speaking engagements. You can start your own program. You can show people how to write books and be an authority. Actually, it makes you an authority in your field.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So forward Minister Emma Winningham. Winningham.
Yes, that's my aunt. So, of course, my family was there when things happened. And so I wanted to look to my family member to write my forward, because I can tell my story because I lived it, but in the shadows, and the people that I needed to be there for me as support, even years later, I can go to her, my Auntie Emma, I can go to my Auntie Pam, I can go to my Auntie Georgia. These are the different people that I could talk to, So I'm happy that I had them. My Auntie Emma will speak the word into me in a minute. We joke and we have fun, but when it comes to scripture and doing what's right and guiding, she's that one. Her and those 3 that I just named, my Auntie Pam, my Auntie Georgia, they are absolutely fabulous. Wow.
And this is great. I'm looking at the I'm like you. I look at the business part of it. So copyright, is your name here. You have your website. You have the ISBN number.
Yes.
Now, what is that?
The ISBN number is basically like your social security number for your book. And you can go, it's a website, don't start me to telling a tale right here.
No, I got you.
That you go to, and you can buy either one ISBN or you can buy a bulk of ISBNs.
Okay. And all rights reserved, no part. And I'm just sharing this with the audience because, again, I know I talk to people all the time that want to do a book. And I think that's just important. You got the barcode on here. I mean, you You got the nice back, you know, your photo. I mean, you doing it, man. I'm proud of you, man. This is great. This is great. So I see some of the titles. Let's get it a little bit back into. I see some of your titles here. Keep God first. Cry. Remember, it is not your fault. It's not your fault. Acknowledge it happened. Talk about some of your titles and how you came up with the chapters of the book. Or is each chapter the 12 steps?
Each chapter, those are the 12 steps.
These are the 12 steps.
And I give you advice on what to do. Because one thing about it, going through trauma and healing, people want to heal like at the snap of a finger. Healing from trauma, it is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I tell people that all the time. You have to give yourself time. You have to give yourself grace. It's not going to go away instantly. You're going to have triggers. You're going to have people that say things that trigger you, that make you cry. And if you need to cry, do it. The problem is people don't want to be around someone who's crying all the time.
Convo with CINO would like to thank Dr. Sharnita L. Rice for sharing her powerful journey. Be sure to check out her inspiring book, Shattered Peach, 12 Steps to Transition from Victim to Victorious, available on Amazon. For more information, email her at sharnita.rice@yahoo.com. Tune in to Convo with CINO for more impactful conversations. Together, we're transforming lives, one story at a time.
So is healing ever done, or is it like, are you ever just done, like I'm over it? Or is it just going to always be there?
It'll always be there, but it's your trauma do not define you. You have to define your trauma. You have to define your healing process. You get to decide. You get to decide how you want to heal.
Wow.
Am I completely healed? Will I see stuff that trigger me? Probably. I was a kid. This man got out of jail and was walking around the projects. You know, I grew up in Delaney. He was walking around Delaney. I had to
Shout out to Delaney Projects.
I had to deal with that.
Very GI.
I had to deal with that every day. And people didn't know it. But he was there. I was too afraid to say anything. I was still young, you know. Yeah. It was fear. So
is he still around?
He's dead.
Okay.
He dead. But
I ain't gonna ask no questions.
Going even just one of the houses that I used to go to with my brother, spend a night, was on 25th Avenue, right by Roosevelt. What school did I go to?
Shout out to Roosevelt High School. Belt, what's up? I went to Horace Mann. Shout out to Horace Mann.
I know what lame school you went to. That lame Belt school.
Wow. Okay. I see you. You not healed. You not healed. You know? You still got some trauma going on talking about Horace Mann. Shout out to Horace Mann.
Oh, shout out. I love the people from Horace Mann.
Thank you.
I have family who went there. You already know.
Thank you. All right. Man, well, look, we're going to wrap it up. I think we could talk about this all day. I think it's definitely a great thing. What's the plan for, I know you talk about, you know, helping people. What's the goal of this book and you know, what's the mission behind it?
The goal and the mission is to make an impact in the lives of individuals who've experienced trauma, whether that's sexual assault, and that's my main focus, domestic violence, or any type of trauma, because the steps that's given are steps that other people need. Like you said, cry, keep God first. Definitely, you want to keep God first, because through the healing process, like I said, you're going to have the triggers. You're going to have to get on your knees and you're going to have to pray, especially if you see them. Because if you see them, yeah, you can plead PTSD, but they still might take you to jail. You know, the law is the law is the law.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, I tell you in the book, if you have a chance to confront your assailant and talk to him and tell him how you feel, do that. I tell you, write a letter to yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive your assailant. People gonna think I'm crazy when they read that book. Forgive my assailant. The heck with him. You're not forgiving a person for them. You gotta forgive for you. because that anger buried deep.
Yeah.
Buried deep.
Yeah.
Hurt people hurt people.
Come on. That's the truth.
You know.
That's the truth. Yeah.
So and that's what we are. We need to heal. So I want to make an impact on the people's lives who have been traumatized. If I can get 1,000 people in the first year, 500 to 1,000 people in the first year that this book is out, to help them work through the trauma, then that's what I want to do. After my book launch, I'm having a book launch October 26th at the American Legion, 1113 Taft Street from 2 to 6. I will be hosting workshops.
Good. Yeah, I was going to ask you, will you be, are you looking to get into speaking engagements and speaking in front, going to schools, going to focus groups, going to...
Definitely. I have a speaking engagement, as a matter of fact, on Saturday at the Recovery Cafe on 61st in Cleveland from 1 to 3. But that is a goal, to be able to speak and discuss, the book and how ways to help you heal. And not just ways, but to give encouragement, because people don't know how to encourage themselves sometimes. Yeah. So let's help them feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
You are not what you've been through. So speaking, book sales.
Yeah.
Bulk book sales, because just one book at a time is not gonna help. Retreats. I'm looking at different things like that because we need it. And I have to, before we get off, I have to say this. It does not just happen to women. It also happens to men. And men need to come forward and they need to speak up, because it's a lot of men that are hurting from people who have touched them when they were small. People who have probably put something in their alcohol and did something to them as adults. It's time to heal. Men get beat by women, but they won't admit it because they're ashamed.
I hear these stories. I hear them. Yeah. I hear them.
They're ashamed. So let's heal. Let's heal together. We have a whole world out here. So we're gonna start right here in our own community.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Lord brought me back to do the work. So I need to do the work that He provided me to do. But it's definitely...
Well, here at Convo with CINO, we gonna make sure we gonna help you get these 1,000 plus 10,000. We gonna help you do on your mission, definitely, and we committed to it. I think it's great. One last thing. So, do you see yourself maybe partnering with some type of doctor, like I guess therapist in this field, or do you want to become some type of? Do you want to? I know you like school, So is it something that you thought of, maybe going back to get certified in this area?
Absolutely not. I am pretty much done with school. Learning will never cease, though.
Yeah.
Just the formal education. I get certifications and things like that. Yes, I will be looking to partner with a therapist who believes in the mission, because
I think it would be good.
Not only will this is the thing, when you listen to other people's trauma, you take that on, and it can be way heavy on you, and that can be a trigger. So will I need therapy? Yes, but I definitely want a therapist there to help with the individuals that we're helping. Because you need not just any therapy. You have to actually vet these therapists too. You want somebody that's good. I don't want somebody that's just sitting there. I need you to give me something to do. What can I do to help myself? I want to feel like I got something out of this therapy session, and you are the one for me. So I tell people right now, do not stop looking for a therapist until you feel like you have the one that is right for you.
Yeah.
Because it's not a one-size-fits-all. Find someone that specializes in what you need therapy for.
Yeah. And I'm a big advocate. I say that because I'm an advocate of therapy. I'm a product of therapy. I've had 2 therapists, and I still work, so my job pays for it. So I'm gonna tell people, if you have a job,
EAP,
sign up to get therapy. It's no stigma. Let's take that off of us. oh, you crazy because you're
no. The ones who that don't, this is what I say, the ones who don't go to therapy are the ones that's crazy.
Exactly.
We all need somebody to listen to.
Exactly. I mean, so there are things that I've experienced in my life, not the violence, but just dealing with life. Yeah. You know, all the things I do. I mean, you know, I've been married, divorced. I have a daughter. I mean, so I work, I do businesses. So things pile. I have a family. You know, people die. My dad died. So things come on you where you need to talk. And as an entrepreneur, I think entrepreneurs especially need a therapist because we have nobody to talk to. Like, who does the boss complain to? The employee, you know what I'm saying? If you got to get around either other bosses, and they don't want to hear your problems because they got stuff going on. Mm-hmm. So I think definitely entrepreneurs should look into therapy. But if you got a job, if you got anything going on, therapy is the bomb. But like you said, you got to get the right one. And I was blessed to have two great ones. Like, it got me through a real tough time, you know, because people see me and they like, you know, I'm happy and I am, but it's because I put in the work behind the scenes. Right. You know what I'm saying? I put the therapy in.
But even when I'm sure, even though this is what people fail to realize, even when I needed therapy, I was smiling. Mm-hmm. So I'm smiling in front of you all, but you don't know what I'm dealing with on the backside. Mm-hmm. That's why I said, with this, you could be a CEO of a company, of a major company, but when you go home, you're traumatized. Yeah. You could be getting beat, whatever, at home, you know, experiencing domestic violence, I mean, say it properly. Or you could be dealing with some trauma from your childhood or your past that you haven't dealt with. Yeah. So it's okay to see a therapist. It is okay. We're not going to taboo that.
Y'all heard it from the doctor.
Yes,
man.
Definitely.
So where can we find the book at?
You can find this book on Amazon.com, Shattered Peach, 12 Steps to Transition from Victim to Victorious.
All right, all right. Well, it has been a pleasure, and we're going to definitely put this in the credits. We got the commercials running for you. We're going to definitely help you sell this thing out. So, hey, Convo with CINO Nation, let's go and get this book, Shattered Peach, 12 Steps to Transition from Victim to Victorious, from my good friend, Dr. Sharnita L. Rice, RN.
And I can be found on...
And I want an autographed copy as well. Oh, so I want my autographed copy. That's why I've been holding my pen.
As much as you're my boy, this copy right here. You want a hard copy?
Whichever. It don't matter. It don't matter.
But I can be found on, if anyone is looking for any information, I can be found on Facebook at Doc Nita Rice, or on Instagram at Dr. Nita Rice DNP. I'm sorry, Dr. Nita DNP.
Yes.
Yes.
And all of her marketing is A1. I mean, just a class act. So, hey guys, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another fire episode of Convo with CINO. This your man Corey Williams. We out.